Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fourth installment of my friend's farm here on Pallegney, the continuation of our mini-series adventure through a bunch of European maps. And we're into the second day of November. So if you recall, in episode 3, we finished harvesting, and then I left you when I was basically selling off all the straw that was on the field. That took a long time, man. That was not fun at all. So maybe I want to figure out for future a different way of doing that. But anyways, it is what it is. It's done now. We got some money to pay back to my buddy there. His 80% less the worker wages. I got a little ambitious right at the end there and went and cultivated this field. I did tell him that I would try to at least get the fields cultivated and maybe throw down some manure just to kind of get some fertilization into it as the fields roll into the winter. So we'll see if we can get that done today. That would be awesome. The other thing that I'd like to start doing would be to start taking a crack at getting some of this silage sold because, well, I don't know. I mean, this grass is stage 3 of 4. I don't think it's going to grow another stage for us. So we may not end up mowing that again. I don't know. We'll see. If we want, we could probably get a little bit desperate and maybe just do it anyways, because we know we can get grass off of there, but I just don't think I'm going to be here in the spring when it comes time to mow this. So we may want to get a little cheeky and just do a little bit of, chop. Anyways, so this is all ready to sell, 297,000 liters. So just a quick note. I mentioned, I think in episode 3 that I would try to refrain from recording or playing anything until I had all 3 episodes uploaded and started getting your feedback. Well, how could I stay away? So this is being recorded having only uploaded episode 1. So if you've made comments on episode 2 or episode 3, I don't have those yet because they have not yet gone live. In episode 1, I did have a couple people shed some light on silage or like picking up chaff with the forage wagon and having the silage additive turned on, and that it would increase, I think it's a 5% yield increase on the amount of grass we get to pick up, or the amount of, whatever. I don't know how it works, but I think it's a 5% increase anyway. So we would have had more silage in here had we done that. But anyways, we did not. But for future, I will look at doing that. I honestly never knew what silage additive was. I always thought it was a bit of a gimmick, but I guess it's not. A gimmick in Farming Simulator? No, impossible. Anyways, yeah. So if we can get some of that sold and we can get the fields cultivated, figure out a way to get some manure down, then that would be a success. Now, let's start by paying back my buddy. So let's go in here quickly. All right, so just on a side note also, it looks like we've sold $641 worth of stuff out of the store, so that's great. We get to keep all that income. It's not going to be much, obviously. So for harvest income, we made a total of $46,600 selling the soybeans and the straw. Now, obviously, we sold the soybeans at half of what their max value is, but I did get the green light to do that, so this should have been more. Straw is really not worth much, but we got some money off it anyways. There is the environmental bonus that we're going to add to the total, and then here is the wages for the workers that we're going to our friend's going to pay. So basically, the way that math works, when we add the $46,600 to the $4,100, and then we take the 80% of that is basically around $40,600. So we make about 10 grand off of this, and then when we take this $2,600 out of it, I got to pay my friend back $37,940 is a nice round number. Okay, we're back. That's funny. If you use OBS to record any of your gameplay, I have the numbers 7 and 9 hotkeyed to start and stop recording. Well, when I went to put in the money that we had to transfer back to my friend, as I was punching it in, it stopped the recording. So anyways, what I was saying before I rudely interrupted myself was that so I transferred my buddy the money. We're left with $174,400. I have gone and made note of the harvest income, the worker wages and the environmental bonus that we sort of recognized in the first day of November. So as we sell silage today, we'll be able to make a calculation and figure out what the heck's going on. So with that, I think we'll probably, you know what, let's get one of the local kids to cultivate the fields. So let's put the cultivator on. I wonder how much horsepower you need for this thing. I can't remember. I'm thinking it's around 140 because I just looked. Okay, so this thing has 116. What's the Kloss have? 155. Okay, so we can do that. And then maybe I think what we'll do is we'll pull the forge wagon with our tractor. Might as well, right? Okay, so I know I have a weight somewhere here. There's one on my tractor. There's one. Let's see if this is going to be enough. Or do we have to have a bale with us also? Alright, so it's just on the edge. So every time this gets lifted, the worker's going to have to sort of figure out what's going on. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a headland. While we're doing that, we'll get on the phone and see if we can get somebody lined up, and then we'll just get them to do the up and down, so to speak. I guess I can sort of harken back to some of the first episode stuff, because that's what you guys would have seen as at the time of recording this. I did kind of mention or ask. I think I mentioned that there may be two opportunities for us rolling into the future in regards to where we may want to, end up. So we did briefly looked at the farm. There's a farm on a hill just down the road from this farm, which for I think around $500,000 would get us basically some land and to be determined whether or not there'd be any equipment. It's unclear because we couldn't. I didn't want to get on the property basically and create any issues. So we don't know exactly if that comes with anything, but anyways, about $500,000 would keep us in the neighborhood, give us a bit of a sheep operation. So could be quite content farming that for the rest of our virtual lives. That is such a nice little setting there, and this map is awesome. But in the spirit of adventure and trying new things, the other one looking at is the region of Saxlingham, which is in the northern part of UK, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I look it up on Google Maps, it looks like it's in the top part, so that's why I'm thinking it's the northern part of the UK. Anyways, so that looks interesting to me. And if you recall, Walter from the Oakbridge, i.e. Comsden area, had mentioned to me that he may have an opportunity up there for us to look at. He was just basically trying to sort out what his exposure was there. He was taking basically he's got an uncle that has run adrift and needs some cash and needs a buyout. So Walter was looking at making that happen for him, and he wondered if maybe it'd be an opportunity I'd be interested in. He thought it was around a $500,000 investment, which would bring it in line with what we have over here. I did get a call. It was more of a message from him this morning. I missed the call, but it looks like he might have been a little bit off. He said, "Listen, man, it's probably going to be a little bit more than what I thought." So, I mean, if you look at it, I only have, I don't even have $200,000, and if we, let's say we managed to make a couple bucks between now and if we were going to make a move when my friend comes back, am I going to be able to? I'm not going to be able to generate $500,000 or more in income. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But he did say, don't sweat it. Between him and a buddy of his who takes sort of high risk loans, they'll make sure that if it's something that I wanted to do, he could help me make it happen. He actually said, he may just get his buddy to pick up the entire loan. But he just said, don't worry, don't let that be the detractor. If you want to get there, once he figures out what the actual commitment is, he'll let me know. But if I wanted to make that move, then we'll figure out how to make that move. So that's good news. So we're going to... He figured that as we roll into December, we should be able to go and actually check that farm out. So there is a distinct possibility that we're going to be going on a bit of a road trip. It's about a 10-hour drive from what I can tell. So we may try to get as much of the silage sold as we can today. We may, well, obviously we're going to get these fields cultivated. That's easy. I don't know how where I'm going to find the manure, but I don't know if there's somewhere. We don't have a lot here. Obviously, we haven't generated a lot. The cows don't have that. We do have some slurry, so I mean, if we could find a slurry spreader, maybe we could do that. So I don't know how I'm going to get the fields fertilized for my friend unless I went out and bought the material. But I don't know if I can buy that anywhere. So we'll do our best with fertilization. But yeah, if we can get that stuff done, then we may go. First part of this episode here, doing some of this work and making some money, and then second part we may go on a bit of a drive and sort of hit Saxlingham for a tour on that second day of December. 10-hour drive is a decent hike. So I mean, even if we left here at let's see, we left here at 6 a.m. What is that? 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess. Is that right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, I mean, that may not be so bad, and then we can get back, but we'll figure it out. I'm curious. He hasn't really told me much about the opportunity, but I do know that Walter's a guy that I have come to trust. He definitely has done me no wrong, and he helped us make our Polish dreams come true, even though they ended up as a bit more of a Polish nightmare. But that was by no means his fault. I don't hold that against him at all. That was really circumstantial, and if I had just kept to myself and not gone for coffee with Maria's sister there, we'd probably still be in Poland. But what are you gonna do, right? So all right, well, let me get this last couple bits here of this one. We'll see if we can get a worker on the next one, and we'll get set up to go and sell some of that silage. Green gold, I think we call it, right? All right, we got one of the locals there to help us with the cultivation. Now here's a moment. We're going to determine whether or not this is a possibility. Actually, I haven't checked this. So if this is not a possibility, then it looks like maybe we got to get ourselves a shovel. Yes, this looks like maybe it will work. How easily this is going to work, I don't know, but it looks like I can fill up I can fill it up. So here, let's just get right deep in there. I know this is probably not maybe the most realistic way of emptying your bunker, but welcome to FS25ville. So I can't get the cover off this. Maybe I'll try turning around and going the other way. May need a shovel anyways just to get this middle section to activate. Alright, well, it definitely collected off the end. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. I mean, maybe if we get I know we have sort of like the manure forks that we can use, or the manure grab or whatever we can use to maybe help tear that cover off and then make that work. So let's go head over to so it's the biogas plant. I called them. They are currently purchasing silage, so that's good. It's a little bit of a hike. It's out just past where we were selling off all of our straw, so down that way. But yeah, lots of good comments. A lot of comments but between here and the One Tile Plus series, in regards to precision farming and fertilizing targets and stuff like that. Oh shoot, I think I go straight. Oh yeah, obviously. I think I know which way to go. I can see the BJ from here. But anyways, yeah, in regards to sort of like, targeting colors when it comes to the mini map and fertilized states and that kind of thing. So Definitely, it's funny, right? I'm almost 50. I have a wealth of knowledge jammed into this brain from life experience and my career and everything else. And I managed to remember my kids' birthdays. So when it comes to jamming a little bit of extra knowledge about precision farming or maybe some of the specifics around Farming Simulator, it doesn't always stick, and it won't. So I'm sure I'll make the same. I don't know. Do I call them mistakes? So they'll be. I'm thinking we sell this over here. Is that right? No, this is a scale, isn't it? We probably sell it over here. Anyways, I'm sure I'll make some of the same challenges from time to time. So bear with me. This brain can only fit so much before it just starts smoking. All right, so we're looking at about $3,500 per load. If I get into my finance income, I guess that's going to be a bit of a tricky one because, well, we'll have to work. I'm going to confuse myself for sure. So the miscellaneous is the environmental bonus. So that now reads 33.5, where I think before we sold that, it read 33.8. So this is going to reduce as a negative. So we'll have to sort of like backwards math that. This one's going to go up. And then obviously we got some wage payments going on right now with our workers. So anyways, we'll make sense of it all. It's all good. This may be a rough estimate in the end. I guess we're going to come in from this side next time, maybe. Anyways, so it'll be a rough estimate going forward because, maybe knowing we make about $3,500 per load, I'll just start checking off all the loads and then we'll see what happens, I guess. Oh, this should be a fun way to spend a little bit of time. Sorry, I've got a tractor that goes 35 kilometers an hour. I have a process which... What do we get? We got about 26,000 liters. So probably, what is that? 8 or 9 loads, I guess. 8 loads maybe. Do the math. That's how much money we're going to make. But yeah, because 10 loads would be 260,000. We don't have 200. So yeah, that's what it'd be. Call it 8 or 9 loads. I don't know. But yeah, we got some work. We got some work ahead of us. And then we're sort of rolling into the dark months. And then, man, so if we go and check out this opportunity over in Saxlingham from Walter, we know we're going to have to make a decision here when my buddy comes back from Canada. Obviously, we'll be out and on our way to whatever the next thing is. So whether that is, farming here or making a move, we'll be probably doing that, relatively soon, I guess. That bump is horrible right there. So there'll be some good things on the horizon coming for us in regards to, well, good things if you like change, I guess. But it'll be nice to sort of have our own thing going again, and then kind of go from there. With our ultimate quest being hopefully a return to North America, specifically Canada. Yeah, I don't have a place to go per se, i.e. there's no map that I'm looking at in Canada right now, but all in time, I guess. Okay, so how am I going to get this? Don't know how to get access to that middle section. The loader arms are on the cloth, so I would like to think that kit over there is almost done, but it doesn't look like they are. Yeah, if I could grab this, maybe that would trigger it. All right, well, you know what? I guess we'll get this field don't fall in the silage pit. I guess we'll get this field cultivated and then take the cloths. Man, this kid. Okay, yeah, you know what? They are almost done because they're doing the insides first. So maybe I'll just take over. We'll get this done, and then I'll use the arms to see what's going on. Hi-ya. And just like that, we're cultivating. Sorry, Patty, but you can go do whatever you want with the rest of your day. All right, so I know there's a couple spots that were missed here, so let's just go back and touch those up. Not by me, I think by the worker. I'm assuming they would have gone back to clean all this stuff up. Yeah, so one last run down here to get these little tiny spots, and then we'll figure out what the heck is going on with that pit. Okay, so cultivator's away. Let's see. I swapped the weight around to the back just in case. Okay, so that's not what we need. We need this. I think you can use this for manure. We're going to use it for silage because I believe I can also use this for chaff, silage, loose straw, that kind of stuff. Potatoes maybe, I don't know. So I'm hoping this is the trigger that it's looking for in order to kind of open up this next section. Oh, there we go. All right, I don't want to use this. I want to just basically open this thing up. So let's get this opened up. It's so hard when you're playing this game because sometimes something doesn't work, so you don't know exactly why. So, and then you know, as you kind of test around a little bit, you don't know whether one thing or another is going to be what actually fixes the problem. And look at this. Sure enough, it wasn't. The forage wagon wasn't enough for it to trigger to sort of expose that next section of silage. But then, you know, we throw in some spikes there, and it's good to go. So I don't think I need to get that top piece there right now. So let's get this out of the way. I think my friend might be SOL in regards to the fertilization. I just don't know how we're going to pull that off also, but wow, okay. We just took a hole out of the middle there. This is all our equipment right now too. So we're just beating the crap out of our own stuff. Gotta crack those main doors open maybe at some point here and stop using this back alley. This the iconic double doors that open up to the main street are super cool. But it's also a little bit tight, so I don't know. I think we would fit, but then you got a sharp corner as soon as you get out of there, so maybe not ideal, but it might have been better, like, you know, 200 years ago when they built the farm or wherever they built that farm. I wonder how old this village actually is. Right, it's 2025 right now. When was this built? So in Canada, we're not nearly as old as some of the stuff you find in Europe, but I always find it fascinating to go to, especially some of the old, like the old fortresses. What's the name? There's a fortress we went to in Nova Scotia, and I want to say, so it was up along everything's eastern shore, obviously, because looking out over the Atlantic. And it was it Louisburg? Maybe that was the name of it, Louisburg. Anyways, it's cool because they hire actors and actresses to play, you know, period people, and so you're sort of like seeing it as it would have been at the time, and it just so crazy to go to these places and think about what it would have been like, you know, all that time ago. Notice I'm not saying how long ago because I have no idea, but just to see how it would have been to live. It was wild. Never mind that. I'm a child of the 70s, so I'm sure some of you would look at that as probably just as archaic. Yeah, so $3,500. I want to bang out a couple of these, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, well, there you go. That was a bit of a handful. So what are we? We're 12:44 right now. It's probably going to be time for a break, but let's sort out some funds here first. So I did some quick math off to the side here before I jump back live here, and basically all said and done, we've generated between the sale of the silage and the environmental bonuses just about $32,000. It was like $31,900 and change. So by the time we pay my buddy his 80%, which is like $25,500 right around there, we're left with about $6,400. So I am going to pay him his 25.5 right now. All right, so that's good. So that transfer went through, and then it looks like we paid about another $400 in wages. So we'll recoup that $400. So there you go. We're sitting at about $181,000 now. So not so bad. I mean, it definitely wasn't. Maybe was it worth it? I don't know. There's still some silage in here. There's room for. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a couple. 2 full loads I put into the cow pen, so there could have been another, $7,000 worth of silage sold there, but it's definitely not super lucrative. This, maybe this pit would have been better for feeding these guys, But anyways, you know what? We did the job. That's all that matters. So we got 70,500 liters in here. So while I was running back and forth, I was on the phone with my friend. He was currently enjoying his time back in Canada, back in the motherland. And anyways, I was kind of telling him what my plan was. He thought it'd be cool if I did end up getting that farm up the road here and staying in the area. So then, he said, oh, then he could help me out more on my farm, but really... It'd be nice if maybe, really, it would have been nice if he was like, yeah, then we could hang out more. But no, it's you can help me. Anyways, whatever. It's all good. Yeah, I mentioned that I was going to go be making a drive to go check out this farm. So really, what I wanted to ask him was, could I use his truck? Because all I have is my old, what is that, International or whatever. So he said, yeah, go for it, man. It's all good. Can't hurt that truck. So I am going to, let's do this. Let's go park this. I'm going to take a look at that truck. I got on the phone with Walter. So Walter's, I told him, man, it looks like I'm going to free up and probably head out on the first day of December, i.e. tomorrow, in this 2 days per month kind of world. And he said, yeah, no problem. He said, he had some news to share with me. He said things are a little different than what he had anticipated there in Saxlingham, but he thought, why don't I just come out there and then he can sort of share with me what the actual reality is, and we can see if we can do something there. So here, let's wash this. Oh God, we got to get this thing serviced. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get this thing a wash. Oh, we could probably do this stuff ourselves. Let's see if it's basic stuff. Then maybe we can do it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it up to the shop. Let's get it washed first, and then I think what we're gonna do is we may. So it's about according to Google Maps, it's about 9.5 hours straight shot from here to the Saxlingham area. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misunderstanding it, but when I look up Saxlingham in the UK, I do get various options. And there's like 3 that pop up, so I'm kind of going by the one that says like Holt Saxlingham. I'm thinking these might just be like maybe it's a town or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, but so I got a rough idea where I'm going, but about a 9.5 hour drive. Now the only concern is I don't really know what the schedule is for the tunnel, because we do have to basically put our vehicle into the tunnel, and it's not like you can just drive through there. You literally have to put your vehicle into almost like a rail car. And then they take you through. To Great Britain. So I don't know what the schedule's there. That could slow us down. Plus, God, what is it? It's the M20, which takes you from the coastline up to that bypass around London. The M25, I think, so we take north. It looks like just after Ashford, there's a ton of construction getting reported. So I don't know what that's going to do for us when we're trying to drive. So it may take us longer than I anticipate, but whatever, what it is. So we'll probably, I think we may, because I don't want to be away forever, we may even try to head out of here at like, I don't know, 2 a.m. because that would be like what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it'd be about 11, I guess, but then maybe call it noon or 1 depending on construction. Oh yeah, I can do this here. It's like an oil change and maybe grease some bushings. All right, so we're clean. So basically we need fuel now. I can't remember. Do I have a place for fuel here? I think we got to go to the gas station. I really got to get a place for fuel here. And if I'm completely forgetting that we have one, well, my bad. But anyways, yeah, I'll go get some gas, and then there's not much else I think I'm going to look to accomplish today here. we're probably just going to putter around a little bit and try to get a really early night's sleep. And then I'll pack some food, that kind of stuff, and we'll head out bright and early. And anyways, yeah, we'll go check out. Well, I'm curious now, after Walter said that things aren't exactly as he had first sort of thought. I don't know, is there a closer gas station? I go to this one down here. Anyway, so I'm curious. So typically, to me, that means like, hey, it's going to be more money than what I thought, or something like that. So, anyways, whatever. If the opportunity's good and the money makes sense, the area where I'm looking at is extremely expensive. I was looking at certain real estate options there, and it's very, very expensive. So I don't know what that means, but anyways, okay. So I'll get fuel, and then I think, like I said, we're gonna rest up, and then we'll head out bright and early in really what'll be December. So yeah, we'll see you on the road. Streets are quiet at 1:48 in the morning. Must be some commuters off to work. Okay, anyways, yeah, I pretty much just went right to bed. Kind of went and putted around a little bit, and I got a fork load of silage into the cow barn, and then pretty much just went to sleep. Oh God, it's early, man. So I've had a couple cups of coffee, but we'll definitely want to grab something while we're on the way. It's 12 Celsius. Supposed to get pretty warm later on, but we are calling for snow here. I don't know what it's like in the UK, but man, I'm telling you, I'm excited. We got a long drive ahead of us. I do, just before we go though, here, let's get this out of the way. Ooh, the starter sounds a little messed up, but anyways, I'm just going to move this out of the way because I want to grab the cloths here. We'll let this warm up. I just want to grab this and grab whatever milk I can from the cows, so that way, at least while we're driving, when the worker comes in, there'll be some stuff to do. Hopefully we're still producing some cheese and bottled milk. That light is harsh. So 2,700 liters there. Okay, that's not bad. Better than nothing. Good God, the reverse light reflecting off the white trailer is horrible. Anyway, I tried to go online to look up the schedule for the tunnel, but I still couldn't quite make sense of it. So we're just going to wing it and hope for the best. Hope we don't have to wait around for very long. If, for example, we miss a rail car or whatever it is. Oh, maybe we're full there. Oh yeah, so I can only put 7,200 liters of milk. So this process is very slow here. So for sure, there's going to be some stuff like, I don't feel bad when my buddy's like, yeah, just take all the income. Well, there's really not that much income. So all this milk I'm putting in there, we should probably just go sell. You know what? We'll see when we get back if there's any milk from here on out. Maybe we'll just go sell direct, and I don't know, whatever. I don't know what. If you don't tell them, I won't tell them. How about that? All right, so that's good. So that's done. The cows are good. They still have food. Yeah, so no worries there. Straw, we're good. I haven't checked the chickens for a little while. I'm not stalling. I just really hate driving, and that's a long drive we got ahead of us here. So yeah, they're still doing good too. Plus we have food in the trailer there. Okay, well anyways, all right. Well, you know what? Let's get on the road. The truck is got to be warmed up by now. I ended up filling the gas tank, so that's fantastic. We are basically, like I said, about 10 hours. So what is it? What time did I say we'd be there? About 1 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock? Yeah, because it's 1,200 hours. That'd be noon, right? So barring any massive traffic jams or anything like that. So we are going to go this way. And then, yeah, we'll see. So Walter said he's not going to be able to meet us there, unfortunately, but he did give me directions. And he told me to give him a call when we get there so he can kind of give me the lowdown. But yeah, we'll see you in the United Kingdom, folks. Okay, guys, that was a hell of a trip. Jeez, it's 12:30 in the afternoon. We are good, what is that, 10 hours or so, 10 and a half, 11 hours of cruising here. It was quite a hike. We did manage to hit some, oh God, I'm almost out of fuel here. Oh, hopefully there's some fuel up ahead here somewhere. Anyways, yeah, we pretty smooth sailing. We caught the tunnel at the perfect time. Made it through there. The construction wasn't as bad as I thought it would be as we were heading towards London. We made the bypass on the, what was that, the M20 or whatever, and easy buddy, a cement truck. Nice. And yeah, here we are. We're in Saxlingham, United Kingdom, and we're heading over to see what Walter might have cooked up for us. Despite what it might look like, with drivers cruising up both sides of the road, that's just being aggressive. We do have to drive on the opposite side of the road now. We're in the United Kingdom, so we're gonna get used to that. But yeah, so far I like what I see. This is a beautiful piece of countryside. Undoubtedly by now you'll have seen this map on many a different channel. But I've had the opportunity to play around with it quite a bit in the background here, just trying to figure out if it would be a good fit for us. And man, we'll see. Let's see if this option works. I still don't know what Walter's got, what he's discovered, anyways, as far as what issues or what changes based on what he originally told us. I don't really know exactly what to expect here, but I'm bracing for the worst, I guess. Whoa, hold on. Okay, we want to take this easy, I would think, maybe. Okay, it looks like we're about a foot deep here, so that's not too bad. I wonder if this gets worse or better depending on the weather. Let's remember when the next time there's a rainstorm to come over and check this. But the old International should have no problem getting across this. Oh yeah, we have lots of clearance there. Don't drive too deeply in the water. Oops, make sure you stay on the road. Okay, so if it gets much deeper, we don't probably want to drive through there. Okay, well there should be a dirt road coming up here on the right hand side, and that should take us up to the farm. So I can tell you that the property is well, actually I can't even necessarily tell you that. I don't fully grasp what we've got here. I know that there's a main compound, main farm area, and some fields. I do know that this is a cow farm, I guess. Cow farm? Cattle farm? That might be it over there. So we do have some of the supporting fields for that type of industry. And I do know that this also comes with a small selection of equipment. So it's farm or compound, which I think we're looking at right now, some fields and some equipment, which smells like it's going to cost some money, but let's see what the actual reality is. All right, well, you know what? It looks like we have arrived at the farm. So I'm going to give Walter a quick call so I can understand a little bit better as to what exactly we're going to be looking at here. And then I'll let you know. That looks like a fuel tank right there, which is good. So yeah, hang tight. Let me make a phone call and we'll see what the reality is. Okay, well, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. Let's just get rip the Band-Aid off. So we're looking at $1 million investment here. So now Walter said, don't worry about the money. He's got an option for me. He doesn't think he wants to take on $1 million worth of exposure. Nothing personal, he said, but he does have a guy that will help me out there. It's a bit of a, not that I'm high risk, but it's a bit of a high risk lending consortium, I guess. Is there a switch for these lights? So we can pick up a loan to pay off if we want, to the tune of $1 million. He figures the rate's going to be around 6 or 7%, but we could potentially get a 5 or 10 year loan to pay this off. So we'd be looking at $1 million. So just as we're walking around, keep in mind there's $1 million opportunity for us. Opportunity, we'll see. So anyway, so we have shed 1 right here, just a big old shed. It looks like a pressure washer. Beautiful. We have the silo here, which I believe is empty. Yep, but we can put 1.2 million liters of whatever in there. We'll get to that in a second, I guess. So in here, yeah, fuel tank with 500 liters of fuel. This shed contains the equipment. Walter said go ahead and try anything out if I want. The keys are in the stuff. Everything looks like it should have lights, but I don't see any switches. So this is the selection of equipment that this farm would come with if we spent $1 million. So we've got a sweet old Ford tractor right here. I'm digging that. We have an animal trailer. I think these typically carry about 6 cows. We have a Unimog with a tipper trailer on the back, which I totally dig that. Finally, a telehandler. I think we've talked a million times about me wanting to get a telehandler on basically every series. And this one looks like it's custom painted in black and dirty as heck. And a bale trailer, Red Rock bale trailer right there. Also looks a little bit beat up and disheveled. So Walter did say that if we wanted to try anything here, the keys are in them. So which would you take right now? Would you drive the Unimog or would you drive the Ford? Honestly, I've been sitting in the cab of a truck for almost 11 hours, so let's go a little bit open air and take the Ford. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, so let's go check out the this would be the cow barn here. I'll head around the back. Oh, there's the house over there. We'll go check that out after. So we have a hay shed or bale shed right here, which we're going to need if we have animals. Manure pit off to the side here. Currently no animals. They did go ahead and sell all of those off to help recoup some of the damage that was done, I guess, through the whatever gambling endeavors my Walter's uncle did. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. Who did he owe the money to? I'm assuming Walter's paid it all off. So anyways, we'll just have to go with that assumption. So animal here, this will hold 110 animals. We have a big old pasture here, a little bit of a pond. Yeah, anyways, we'll see how far this goes when we actually go and drive around a little bit. It is quite dark here. That was one of the issues I had when I was in the UK the last time, was the darkness, and we're actually in December right now. So, look, it's 1:45 and it's really dark out. So not a fan of that, but I am a fan of the region, so I could look beyond the darkness. So this cow barn looks amazing. All right, so we can get the milk over here. That's if we go with dairy, I guess. We could go with like beef cows. I have the realistic livestock mod enabled on this map, so if we do decide to come here, then we'll be dealing with all that encompasses the realistic livestock mod, which I think really takes you down to the nitty gritty of the animals. Basically, you can go so far as to name them, I think, but they all have ear tags, health, data, origin, all that kind of stuff. They can die. All right, so here's the house. Nothing too fancy as far as landscaping and that kind of stuff, but I mean, it serves a purpose, I guess. I mean, I would say this house is worth $1 million itself. No, look at this old country home here. Maybe not. Kind of an interesting view behind us, but I guess you could watch farming activities. Is this unlocked? It is unlocked. Okay, well, here's a house. Here. We'll go out the front door. This will be pretty cozy, especially now that it's getting close to winter. Ooh. Okay, that could be an issue. Some grass growing in the bathroom floor. Tiny little country kitchen. I don't think anybody's maintained this very well because there is grass growing through the floors, but that's okay. This must have been Walter's niece's, Wait, if it was Walter's uncle, this would have been his cousin's room, I guess? Anyways, I won't ask any questions. This is cousin like 6. All right, so just a nice little home. Man, this is actually fantastic. So we could definitely live here. So far, I don't think I've seen $1 million worth of opportunity. Front door, front door. But yeah, okay, so we could live there. Let's go see the field. So Walter told me that we have 2 grass fields, I believe he said, and 1 wheat field. The wheat field, I guess his uncle had somebody so he had basically gone and sold off all of his like major equipment, so he had no real opportunity for planting or anything like that. So he did have somebody not long ago who he had already prepaid come in here and plant the wheat field. So it's in its early stages, but it looks like we have some what they would call winter wheat, I guess, growing in one field, Walter said, which is right over here. Yeah, so we'll just have a look at it like this. So that is a fair size wheat field down here on the edge of the county. And yeah, that's in the early growth stages. And then he said just down the road, if we run down there, we'll have a couple of grass fields that he thought may or may not be ready to mow. So we might get lucky there. If we want to get an animal empire started here, we're going to need something to feed those animals. So if we do have some grass available to mow right away, that would be a bonus. But yeah, so very different to the Pallegney environment in that Pallegney is built into a valley, and anyways, it has, it is what it is, and this Saxlingham is it's more like rolling hills and meadows, I guess, and obviously now in the UK, but a much different look. There's here these dirt roads and everything. It's a very, very nice map. Nice area. So here, let's look at this. All right, so there's the tractor. There's us. This is one of our grass fields, or would be, I guess. That is a substantial size grass field. Stage 3 of 4, but ready to harvest. So that won't grow anymore now that it's December. So depending on if and when we came here, we would that'd basically be the status right there, the status of the grass. Just basically that's all we get. So we don't get a full growth, but we definitely would be able to get something off that. I would definitely, I believe, get into baling here. I don't think I would want to I'd want to do a pit again here, and we don't have one on the farm anyway, so I guess I would need silage if I was going to get into cattle. All right, this should be the other field here. So tractor is right over there, and this is the field. So the 2 fields basically line up with each other. Oh, and we got a nice little, it's a little boat. But a nice little creek that runs up the side, so maybe we could do some fishing. Stage 3 of 4. So that would be that, I guess. So 1 wheat field, 2 grass fields. Now, I think I mentioned at one point things are very expensive here. Let's go look at the field. There was a field, if you remember, where the farm was looking out. Let's go look at that for a second, and we'll get a quick idea of what real estate is like in this area. And that might give us an idea of whether or not this is going to be feasible. But not to say that we need more property in order to have a farm, but if we thought we wanted to grow, then we should at least know what those opportunities are. But man, look at this. Where the heck is the sun? 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun looks like it's already dropping below the horizon over there. Let's say, so if you think about it, back in Pallegney, we've got the soybean harvest taken care of. I told my buddy that we get those fields cultivated. I can't remember. It's been such a long drive. I can't remember whether we did that or not, but we do have that. Yeah, we did. That commitment's done. I said I would try to fertilize it, but he also doesn't have a lot of manure or slurry built up, so maybe we'll take whatever we can and put it on the fields. But beyond that, there's not much else to do, because he did say that if we wanted, we could head out, right? So let's say we put this deal together with Walter, and we make this purchase. So we're into the whole $1 million. Never mind what we have in the bank right now. Let's just say we take a loan for $1 million, and because I think I'd like to hang on to some cash, just because we don't know what else is going to come up. Not to mention, I'll probably need some equipment, because I mean, we have some stuff there. It all looked a little bit beat up, including this tractor. This tractor's got 111 hours on it, so we'd want to make sure we have a little bit of cash in hand. But that the $1 million that we would essentially be taking out as a loan would be spent immediately for this property. So that's then we're just sort of surviving on whatever cash we have. But yeah, I mean, so we'd get over here, and I mean, there's not much opportunity for us to make money until the spring, short of maybe doing some farm cleanup. Maybe there's some trees that can come down, that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'd be really kind of scrounging until we got to the spring here. So just as an example, look at this field behind the house. So the farm is right through the woods there. The house looks out over, what are these, potatoes or something? Sugar beets. Okay, yeah, look at that. Thank you, universe. So let's look at how much that is. So this area is where the farm is. There's the wheat field. So the wheat field is 9 acres. There's a 17-acre field here, and it's $416,000. This is the road that we took to get to our 2 grass fields. We passed these fields here, 30-acre field, 700. This $750,000, and same thing. So there's what is that, 150 or $1.5 million in fields that we passed to get to our little grass fields. Good God. But anyways, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at $1 million for the farm, the equipment, our wheat field, and the 2 grass fields. Well, you know what? Let's do this. We'll go grab the Unimog, I think. So this Ford drives great. We should probably take the Unimog for a test drive, just to make sure that it actually works. No sense just looking at it. But I mean, ultimately, we wouldn't be making this purchase, based on a vehicle in a shed. It is part of it for sure, but we would, I think, be looking at the bigger opportunity. Like what opportunity do we have to enjoy our lives here in the area? Not a big fan of the darkness, but you know what I mean. The majority of the farming activities happens in the lighter months, so maybe we should start taking the winters off. All right, we got no shortage of lights here. Oh, beacon. 185 hours on this. It's in rough shape, but you know what? That might not be so bad. Let's go take this thing through the Ford over there and see how it handles it. I think we got a lot more clearance on this than we had on that. Oh no. This would have to get, I don't know, at 185 hours, we may want to do an engine swap or something, because I think at 185 hours, that's starting to get to the point where this is going to break down a lot, right? I think that's how that works. So we may want to get some substantial engine work done. or something. We'll have to figure it out because I can't have this thing breaking down if it's going to be on our farm. But yeah, this has a feeling of being back in the Calmsden / Oakbridge area, although it has a little bit more of a gritty feeling, I think. Like this laneway here is fantastic with this concrete or whatever it is. All right, here we go. Let's see what the clearance is on this. Oh my gosh, look at that. All right, this map is like a postcard. Tons of clearance here. Anyways, maybe enough playing around. Let's see if we can get turned around here in this laneway. So I think what I'm going to do, so it's 2:30 in the afternoon. I am kind of like dead tired right now. The idea was to get here, have a good look around the area, and then figure out what opportunity we may have here. So I gotta probably rest up here, and then I think what I'll do is I'll have a conversation with the finance person that Walter's got to see what we may have available to us or what we may not. And then we'll find I know there's got to be a little village around here, so maybe we'll find the local pub, grab a bite to eat. There's a little inn Walter was telling me about, so I got to find that. Anyways, and then I'll spend the night here, and then we'll probably in December. Yeah, I don't know. We'll probably decide. We'll probably make a decision, I think, before we head back to Pallegney on what we want to do. We might as well just decide while we're here. You know what I mean? And then at least when we go back to Pallegney, we'll know whether, you know, is this really what we want to do, or are we gonna just hang out in Pallegney in France, right? Should I try that telehandler? I guess I should try the telehandler too. All right, we got beacons for days here, folks. Oh, it seems to function quite smoothly. Got a pretty beefy hitch on the back of this thing. Some weights. I will do one lap around the building here and then just see. Seems to work fine. I don't know. 175 hours on this thing. So, okay. We'll check the vehicle list here in just a second. How am I going to do that? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Thing's dying on me. Almost hit the truck. Okay, so the Unimog and the telehandler could require some work in order to be able to function properly. That may become more of a liability to us than anything. I mean, they'll be worth something, so if worst case is if we move here and these things are turds, we could see what the local dealer is going to give us for them. But yeah, I can't have these things breaking down. I really like this. The Unimog is nice. I've always wanted one of those, but I mean, how often would we use it? I don't know. Maybe lots. You know, this Merlot, I say it like the wine. This Merlot is more useful to us, but not if it's going to break down. So anyways, all right, well, we've got some thinking to do, but right now I've got some resting and some eating and some drinking to do, so I can kind of get an idea, the feel for the area, maybe meet some locals, not have coffee with anybody's sister. I can confirm that. I'm going to just stick to my own devices and not create any drama for myself. But anyways, yeah, that's the opportunity here in Saxlingham. Let me know what you think of that. I will possibly already be on to recording the next episode by the time you see this, and maybe I will have already made a decision, but I'd love to hear you weigh in anyways. And I know you will. And yeah, we'll see what happens. A little cleaning to do here maybe. But big money and big commitment, big loan commitment, $1 million, and very expensive in order to be able to grow here in the darkness of Saxlingham.
So anyways, with that, we're going to go find some fish and chips and a pillow and a beer and talk to you later. All right.